In the middle of the Karakum Desert, in one of the most arid, scorching, and remote regions on planet Earth, the ground suddenly opened up to reveal a secret that defies all logic. A gigantic crater, more than 60 meters wide and 20 meters deep, roars with perpetual flames day and night, illuminating the absolute darkness of the desert with a ghostly glow. The locals, terrified by the constant heat and the rumbling of the earth, baptized it with a direct and chilling name. The gates of hell. At first glance, anyone would think it is an active volcano or a strange anomaly of nature, but the truth behind this pit of fire is much more disturbing. How is it possible for a gigantic mass of fire to have been burning without stopping, without being extinguished by sandstorms or rain, since the year 1971? Welcome to this new journey of exploration into the strangest, most dangerous, and hidden geographical anomalies of our world. A place where human ambition and the deepest mysteries of the underground collided to create an infernal spectacle that science, to this day, has not had the power to put out. To understand the magnitude of this geographical mystery, we must travel back in time to the 1970s, during the height of the Soviet Union era. At that time, this huge and desolate region of Turkmenistan was part of Soviet territory. A group of high-level Russian engineers and geologists arrived in this inhospitable desert with a very clear and ambitious mission: to explore the terrain and conduct deep drilling in search of large oil deposits. They set up heavy camps, installed gigantic steel drilling towers, and began boring into the Earth's crust without imagining that, beneath their heavy boots, a deadly trap of nature was hidden and about to collapse. As the heavy Soviet machinery drilled deeper and deeper into the desert crust, the ground began to vibrate violently. The engineers realized too late that they hadn't hit an all well. They had pierced the roof of a colossal underground cavern packed with a massive reserve of natural gas. Within seconds, the entire landscape gave way. The earth dissolved beneath the drilling rig, swallowing the massive steel structures, the equipment, and the camp into a deep, terrifying abyss. Miraculously, no human lives were lost in the collapse, but a global catastrophe was just beginning. The newly formed crater began leaking thousands of tons of methane gas every single hour. Methane is highly toxic and flammable. It started spreading across the Karakum Desert, threatening the lives of nearby village residents and killing the local wildlife. The Soviet scientists knew they had to act immediately to prevent a massive environmental poisoning. Following the scientific logic of the 1970s, they made a radical decision that would alter the geography of the planet forever. They decided to set the crater on fire. The plan was simple and calculated: by lighting the gas, the fire would consume all the escaping methane in just a couple of weeks, making the area safe again. They struck a match and threw it into the abyss. A terrifying wall of fire erupted from the ground, lighting up the desert sky. But the Soviet scientists had made a terrible miscalculation that would baffle humanity for decades. To stop the toxic methane gas from spreading and killing more desert animals, the Soviet scientists came up with a fast solution. They decided to ignite the crater. In 1971, engineers believed that setting a natural gas leak on fire was the safest way to burn off the fuel quickly. They calculated that the massive pocket of gas underneath the sand was small enough to burn out completely in just a few weeks. They threw an explosive device into the giant pit, and an enormous explosion shook the desert. A massive wall of fire erupted into the sky, creating a glowing light that could be seen from miles away. The scientists stood back, confident that their job was done and that the desert would return to normal very soon. But they had no idea that they had just started a fire that would outlive their entire empire. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and the flames never lost their power. The Soviet engineers returned to the site multiple times, deeply confused by what they saw. The fire wasn't slowing down, it was growing hotter. They quickly realized they had made a terrible mistake. The underground cavern wasn't a small pocket of gas. It was connected to an almost infinite, highly pressurized natural gas field hidden deep within the Earth's crust. Decades passed, and the Soviet Union eventually collapsed, but the fire in the Karakum Desert kept burning. The government of the newly independent country of Turkmenistan tried to handle the situation in secret. In 2010, the president visited the crater and ordered local experts to find a way to extinguish the flames or close the pit completely, fearing it would ruin the country's chances of developing nearby gas fields. Top engineers from all over the region came to study the site. They analyzed the soil, measured the extreme heat, and considered dropping thousands of tons of concrete, sand, or specialized chemical foam into the abyss. However, every single plan was quickly rejected. The pressure of the gas coming from the deep underground was so high that any attempt to cover the crater would likely cause a massive explosion, fracturing the desert floor and creating even bigger leaks. Realizing that the anomaly could not be stopped by human hands, the government changed its strategy. Instead of fighting the fire, they let the world discover it. Slowly, international backpackers, extreme travelers, and mystery seekers began sharing coordinates of this blazing pit on early internet forums. A place born from a catastrophic scientific failure was transforming into one of the most famous, eerie, and exclusive tourist destinations on Earth. Standing at the edge of the crater at midnight is an unforgettable and terrifying experience for anyone brave enough to travel there. The wind blowing across the Karakum Desert carries a strong smell of sulfur and intense heat that burns the skin. The ground around the rim is highly unstable, constantly crumbling into the glowing orange abyss below. As you look down, you don't just see a simple fire, you see thousands of separate flames shooting out of the rock walls like small torches. The heat at the center of the pit reaches over 1000 degrees Celsius, which is hot enough to melt solid metal and turn the desert sand into liquid glass. Strangely, this extreme environment began attracting the attention of top space agencies, including NASA. Scientists wondered if any form of life could actually survive inside that burning hell. If an organism could withstand the toxic gases and extreme temperatures of Darvaza, it could mean that life might exist in harsh environments on other planets, like Mars. In 2013, a famous explorer named George Kourounis became the first human being to ever descend to the very bottom of the gates of hell. Wearing a specialized suit made of fire-resistant aluminum and breathing from an oxygen tank, he was lowered into the fiery abyss by a system of heavy ropes. The expedition was highly dangerous, as a single tear in his suit or a sudden shift in the wind could have killed him instantly. Against all odds, the dangerous expedition was a massive success. The explorers spent 15 minutes walking on the burning floor of the crater, collecting soil samples from the hottest areas. When scientists analyzed these samples in a laboratory, they discovered something truly groundbreaking. A unique species of bacteria was living comfortably inside the hot sand. These microorganisms were completely unknown to science and were not found anywhere else on the surface of the planet. Today, the gates of hell remain a fascinating geographical mystery that shows no signs of slowing down. Geologists estimate that the massive natural gas reserves fueling the fire could keep it alive for another century. It stands as a terrifying monument to human error and a brilliant reminder of the untamed, powerful forces hidden deep beneath the Earth's crust. It is a real-world nightmare that continues to burn brightly in the dark desert night. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey to the edge of the world. If you enjoyed exploring this bizarre geographical anomaly, make sure to follow our channel for more videos uncovering the deepest mysteries, hidden locations, and strangest phenomena on our planet. Let us know in the comments what you think about this burning abyss, and we will see you in the next exploration. If you want to support our journey through the strangest corners of the planet, it would be of immense help if you could subscribe to our channel right now. By doing so, you ensure you won't miss our upcoming weekly explorations into the unknown. Also, please don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with anyone who loves mystery and geography. Your support is what keeps this project alive and allows us to uncover more hidden secrets around the world. Thank you for watching, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and we will see you in the next exploration.